Hi, everyone.
Morning, team.
How are you guys? How are you, Cass?
Oh, good. We went and did fingerprinting this morning for the adoption.
Woo, that's exciting.
Yeah, last time I had mine fingerprinted, it was down in the States to get my alienship card.
Alienship?
Residential, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was like, what, 3?
Well, maybe 4 or 5.
Maybe. Anyways, and it was still ink, where now it's all digital.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of nice.
And your fingers. It's weird.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you did Zoom with the Frooms last night.
I did do Zoom with the Frooms last night.
How was that? I didn't get to watch it again.
You need to get yourself some Wi-Fi. It was good. They talked about being attractive towards your potentials, and that meaning like when you're out on doing your errands and on your social media.
Like being attractive physically.
Yeah, so like being physically, but also being attractive. Like don't spam and keeping your Facebook so it's still personable. It's not just. It's still, you know what I mean? Like be attractive to your audience. Post what they want to hear and what you think they would like to know and stuff. Don't post the salesy stuff. And when you're out in public, say hi, make friends. You know, smile at people.
Yeah. Be genuine.
Yeah.
Be genuine. Be a nice person. Be attractive. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
And what did you speak on?
I talked again because they forgot to record the last time. I just went over the whole contacting all the rubies and above and what that they all say either be consistent, build relationships, or do both. So.
And you know what? That's cool. That's so cool. But I think it's just so cool that they all reached back to you. I just, one Plexus, one team, and everybody lives it. And I know.
And the things that they say is so simple. Like Plexus is very, very simple to do. I think a lot of the times, and we talked about that on the Zooms too, a lot of the times we overthink it, right? We're like, oh, this isn't working. Why isn't this working? Well, I think it's because we're overthinking it. We're not keeping it simple. Build the relationships. Building relationships is so simple, right? You don't have to be talking about Plexus. Keep it simple. Being consistent. For some of us, that's a little harder than others, but it's just all about being simple.
Yes. Keep it simple, stupid. Yes. You know what I kind of wanted to discuss? Because this is what happened to me this week.
What did you want to discuss?
Well, I was with a fellow ambassador.
Okay.
And we were talking to their potential customer. Okay. So somebody that hasn't signed up, somebody that hasn't used the products. And I couldn't believe my fellow ambassador did this. It was just like, what? I didn't know how to handle it. So anyways, what they did was, so the customer is like, well, how much is it? And the fellow ambassador, out of compassion, said, you know what? I can order it for you, and then I'll get it at my cost, and it will be cheaper for you. And I was just like, I didn't say anything in front, right? I just sat there quietly and didn't say anything. But afterwards, let me tell you, I talked to the ambassador. I'm like, you don't do that. And I understand all of us are like compassionate people. That's why we're in this business, right?
Yeah, we want to help others.
Right? And I understand, but that isn't helping them, right? Why isn't that helping them, do you think?
Well, okay, there's a lot. But here's 2 things, I guess. One, first, in Canada, we are not actually allowed to do that yet.
That's right.
Right? So that's a big no-no. You get busted by compliance and you can be suspended, or worse, they can technically kick you out of the company, right? And the reason it's a no-no is because we haven't fully crossed that red line with the FDA and Canada's borders and all that, right?
Canada Health and Wellness.
Yeah, and they're working on it, and we're getting closer, but we haven't crossed that line yet, so we still have to sell online. And it makes it so much simpler to sell online. Then you're not having to order a bunch of products and figure out who it's going to and ship it and make all these dates. It's just, but it's also not helping you because, well, it's not helping them, because then once they really like it, you're going to have a heck of a time getting them to go and order it on their own.
Well, and also, it's really important to think duplicating.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? This customer is going to be like, whoa, Plexus is amazing. They're going to tell their friends. Their friends are going to go, how do I get it? And they're like, I got a guy that can get it to us at wholesale. Right? Because that's what people do, because we all want to help each other. So like, I got a guy. So you can't do that, right? It's not helping them at all. They could be making money, and they will make money because it's going to work for them and they're going to share it. And so you're robbing the customer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're robbing yourself, really, right? Because you're not making commission off of that then. You're not building your business. So
yeah, that's true. No, yeah. I agree.
I was just so blown away that happened. I really was. I was like,
and I struggle with it because I have quite a few friends that I would love to help, right? Like they call me up and they're like, oh, I'm so sick all the time, or my kids are always sick all the time, but I can't afford Plexus. And I get it. Like, the exchange rate kills us, right? But it's not just one way of getting Plexus. There is technically 3 ways to order Plexus, right? So, I mean, yeah, I give them all those options. And if they still say it's too expensive, it breaks my heart because I want to help. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't order it. I can't order it and give it to you.
No.
There's too many no's involved with that, right? So...
And you know what I find, especially with the exchange rate and it being as high as it is, right? So if somebody's expecting, like we're so quick at saying, well, you can get it for $69.95 if you order as an ambassador. And so they got $69 in their head. Even if you say $69.95 US, they have $69.95 in their head.
Yep.
So when they go and they order it, and it comes out to be, I don't know, $99, they're like, what is that about, right? And that's our fault, because we've led them to believe that it is cheaper than it is. But really, $99 a month for health isn't that much money.
No.
You know?
And I totally came across that. That happened to me the other day. Preferred customer. And she saw her total, but she wasn't thinking US funds. She was seeing Canadian, even though it was American. And then when it came onto her credit card and it was 122, she was like, right? And she totally panicked. And I mean, we talked it out and I was like, that's my fault. I should have explained that a little clearer, So, and we worked through it. It's all good. We've figured it out. But yeah, that was, she panicked.
Yeah. So I always tell them Canadian prices. And you know what? When I tell them Canadian prices too, it's like, yeah, it's going to be $180 for the triplex, right? If you're going to go retail. But the more it actually is very much more of an incentive to get them to be preferred because, oh, that's a lot cheaper, right? And then, and as an ambassador, it's even cheaper yet. So it's incentive actually to go.
So how do you do that? How do you tell them, because the exchange rate is always fluctuating, so it's...
I know, I give them a rough ballpark, right? So then if it's like $5 more, they're not like, oh my goodness, or if it's $5 less, they're like, woohoo, right? It's just a rough ballpark because you don't know all the time what it's going to be. But yeah, I say the triplex, I usually say it's about $180, $85.
Yeah. And when my thing that I do when they're like, I still can't afford that, even, then I'm like, do you have 3 friends that are struggling with a health issue?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all you need. You just need 3 people and your products are technically paid for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I go down that road.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I should say, it's like, I always say it's about $155 as an ambassador, right? US for the triplex.
Until you have 3 people underneath you.
Until you have 3 people. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, right?
So really, I mean, there is when your customer goes, well, how much is it? And that compassion comes out, use that compassion in a exciting way. Be like, well, actually, there's 3 ways to buy it, right? So you could pay and I always like to start with a higher number, because then they're like, holy crap, it's even more expensive. You're like, but then if you go this way, you get a discount, and then you get another discount, or you can do this, right? And you can bring it, and then they're like, oh, that's doable. This first number, which is like way up here, is not doable, but this number is doable, right? Like, so as hard as it is.
Well, you kind of have to judge the person too, right? Because there are some people that listen to the first thing, right? So that you say, oh, it's 185 Canadian, and they just automatically turn it off, and then they won't listen anymore.
Which is true.
So you do have to judge the personality that way.
That's true. That's how I was with our last company. Because I remember the first time I heard, and all I heard was 1,800. And I went, oh! And I was like, nope, can't do it. And shut it down, right, instantly. And it took me, another 6 months or something before I actually opened up and listened to it again.
You know what? An 1,800. Isn't that crazy? That's what
we thought that was a good deal.
That's what we had to pay to get into our last company, people.
Yeah.
What do we pay now? $34.95. And really our biggest welcome pack, because really the 1,800 was the welcome pack, right? Yeah. So, and our biggest welcome pack is what, $230 if that's what they choose to do. And there's no pressure whatsoever for that.
No. That's an option, and you have 30 days to buy it if you don't want it on that day you sign up.
Yeah,
I know. I love my company now.
I know.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it is so. Well, Lisa always says that it's a peaceful business, right? You're just sharing because you're helping people. That's what I really love. That's the other thing I was thinking about. With our last company, it dealt with skincare. So your market was really quite limited, right? Whereas with Plexus, it covers the whole gamut. Yeah. Everybody needs something with Plexus, whether you're a weight trainer or you're totally too skinny and anorexic, or you're 300 pounds overweight, or you've got, chronic aches and you're just feeling yucky all the time.
It's been good for crunchy moms.
Even the crunchy moms. Okay, wait, what's crunchy mean again?
So a crunchy mom is somebody who is very health conscious. They grow their own garden. They make their own yogurt, their own butter, their own cheese. Like, they make everything at home, right? They're very conscious of what they put into their body, and it's a nice.
Are you going to be a crunchy mom, Cass?
I'm slowly turning into one since I started Plexus.
Why couldn't we come up with a happier name, Crunchy?
I like to make my own soups now. I kind of want to start canning and jarring, and I would like to make, I have a recipe for my own condensed, cream of mushroom soup, so I can put it in casseroles rather than buying the canned crap. And I'm slowly turning into, I'm a crunchy, I don't know, because I'm not a mom yet. I'm just a crunchy.
You crunchy person, you.
Yeah.
It is
a health nut.
Yeah, and it is good for them. That's what I love about Plexus, is that everybody could benefit from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, what do you want to talk about next, Miss Cass?
I don't know. We kind of talked about everything.
We did. What did you think of Big Al?
Well, loved it.
I know. He's so amazing. I listened to him a few times, right? And you have too. So it is a repeat of everything. But every time I listen to him, I'm like, duh. Right? That's just the reaction you get with Big Al. Duh, could have had a V8. No.
He's amazing. And it's encouraged me to start listening to his CDs again, because I have his entire set.
Yeah. Oh, and you got the whole Jim Rohn thing.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this. So I ordered, signed up for, joined, whatever you want to call it, 1 year to success with Jim Rohn. And so each month you have a pillar that you go through. So this month is all about goals. So each week I get an email, and it has a 30 to an hour long audio clip that I listen to. It comes with a downloadable workbook. So you fill it out as you're going, and he literally, it's like being at a seminar, because he stops. Like you're listening to the audio, working through the workbook at the same time. And when you have an activity, he stops talking, or he talks about that activity to give you time to actually complete it.
Oh, so yeah. What kind of an activity have you done so far?
So, okay, let me get my notes. So last week was, again, about goals, because this entire month is all about goals. So he got us to do 3 different things in it. So the first thing was, think of 5 things I have accomplished and that I'm proud of. So in my lifetime, what are 5 things that I have done and I'm proud of, right? And I could only come up with 4.
And I'm, in my mind, because I'm your mother, I've got, that would be a huge list.
I came up with 4. And then the next one was, what do you want to do in the next 10 years? And he's like, it can be anything. Like, I put my Lexus down, more dogs. Like, it can be anything that you want to do in the next 10 years, right? And he wanted 50. And I got 49 things written down in the time frame that he gave us.
Wow.
And then I did this part wrong. I misunderstood until later in the activities. But then you go through that list, your 10-year list, and you put 1, 3, 5, or 10. And I was thinking like priority-wise.
Oh, but
he wanted years. So what do you want done in the first year? What do you want done in 3 years? What do you want done in 5? And then you calculate it. And so you go like, there was 11 number ones. And it kind of breaks it down to what kind of a prioritizer you are.
Oh.
Right? Like, do you want to get it all done really quick, or are you one that like thinks about it and slowly grows, and you've got more 10s than you do 1s? Like, yeah, kind of breaks it down. And then he said this, when the why gets stronger, the hows get easier.
Oh, that's a good line.
I like that. Pursuit is stronger than objects, or purpose is stronger than objects, and drama is the details.
Drama is the details.
So give the details. People like to listen to drama. People don't like to be in drama, right?
Isn't that funny?
But it's exciting. You want to know more when they're giving. So give the details. He says, go into details. The drama is the details. I was like, oh, I like that. Stand tall in your own eyes. Always keep learning, never stop growing. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing was, what person must I become to accomplish my goals?
Cool.
That was last week. So I got the email last night. So today I get to do this week's activities.
Nice. So you're enjoying it and learning.
I am. Well, and it's cool because it literally, it's a year of self-growth. And I'm really excited for the 6-month mark, because the 6-month mark is really where I feel like I was failing my business. And so, yeah, I'm excited for that one. But yeah, it's cool. And it was really kind of funny. So I did the whole Eric Worre, Jim Rohn, what was it called?
Mastermind or whatever?
No, it wasn't Mastermind, but it was, so it was all of Jim Rohn's people that he mentored.
Oh, okay.
Master of the Mentors, that's what it was. Anyway, so they talked about all of the pillars that I'm going through, but it's called the 10 Fundamentals. And so they're selling it at the end. They start selling it, and I was like, it sounds similar. So I looked, very similar to what I'm doing. Yeah, they wanted $500 and some for that. I spent $100 to a year's worth of self-growth. And it's worth it. I totally invested in myself. It's something I can write off because it's going to benefit my business. And it was $100. So totally worth it. And it's cool because Jim teaches us how to teach others what we're learning too. So I can totally take this next year and implement it into my team if I wanted to.
Yeah, you totally should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
maybe you could share little tidbits with us along the way.
Maybe I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's funny because I feel like I really felt like I was struggling in my business and I couldn't figure it out why. And I realized I needed to stop focusing so much on the outcomes and start focusing on myself, because that's where, once I focus myself and I get myself organized and figured out, my outcomes will come, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing.
Good advice.
Yeah, I'm taking time to focus on myself. That doesn't mean I'm stopping my business. It just means that I'm not so much going out right now and like watching my Facebook really closely for people and going, hey, would it be okay with you if I shared Plexus? Right? Like I'm not doing that approach right now. I'm still posting about Plexus. I'm still sharing my love for Plexus, but I'm letting people come to me while I focus on myself.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And that's such good advice. And I suggest that for everybody because, sometimes it feels like we're running and we're doing really well. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're up against a wall. And we're like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And that's the time when you need the self-growth, right? And that's totally what you've looked into, and that's where you're at. So that's cool.
I'm excited for it. I felt like I didn't feel like I had run into a wall per se, but I felt like I was in a hamster wheel. I was just spinning and spinning and spinning and doing the same things over and over and over again. And they're like, they say, stupidity is when you continue to do the same things and expect a different outcome.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was doing. And I was like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And I needed to focus on me. I needed to focus on my goals and giving myself an actual path to walk down. Because I feel like I was just kind of zigzagging everywhere, trying to figure out what's the right fit for me, when really I need to figure out me to figure out my fit, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You're so wise, Cassie. You must have wise parents.
I have a wise grandpa. I'm sorry, I'm bugging you.
I know. That's so awesome, though. So how did you pick Jim Rohn?
I've always really liked Jim Rohn. So I first heard about Jim Rohn in our last company, and the high ranks used to talk about how they would go on all of these trips, and everywhere they went, Jim Rohn was playing. His CD was playing, and they would listen to it on repeat the entire time. And so I started listening to it and really liked his teachings. And so I started following him on Facebook, and I started getting his weekly emails, and he's the mentor that I connect with right now. Like, I can listen to Eric Worre and Big Al and Sarah Robbins, and I'm super excited that Sarah Robbins is back.
I know. I got the email.
And I totally understood where she was coming from and how she explains it with being a new mom in her business, and I totally embrace it. I love it. But I'm not connecting with them right now. I'm actually understanding and connecting with Jim Rohn. So that made me look into kind of more of his teachings. And he doesn't so much focus on network marketing.
No, it's
right?
growth.
All of the other ones, they focus a lot on network marketing and how to network and how to market, and where Jim, everything that he teaches can be relayed into network marketing, but it's actually on you. And that's where I felt like that's where I was led to. And so I just went with it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Cass.
Thanks, Mommy.
Yeah, I've been, I discussed this with you yesterday that I'm working on a part-time ministry, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
And that's totally given me new focus on my business as well, because this business, Plexus business, will help that, right? So I'm excited about that. So we're both going through growing stages right now, and it's fun. It's exciting.
It's kind of funny because usually you're ahead of me and you go through a growing phase and I'm still back here, and then I catch up to where you were, but you're already up. Where this time I feel like we're kind of at the same point, but just different directions.
Yeah. That is pretty
I don't have, it's not me going, oh, Mom, you should do this. And it's not you going, Cass, you should do this. It's us actually supporting each other because we're totally in different areas. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really cool. And I was talking with one of our members yesterday, our teammates. I was Zooming yesterday, and she was saying the same thing. Like, well, she's doing all this research and stuff too. Like, she's really honing in on her self-growth, right? And she was talking yesterday about the personality colors, and she had written all these notes about, you know, each personality color and what you should say to each of them and stuff. And I just love that our team is actually taking steps to grow. They're learning. They're not just sitting stagnant going, I don't know what to do.
Well, and you know what the other cool part about all this is? We're each on a different path. Nobody's doing the same thing. So we are able to share with each other and be like, hey, this is what I'm learning. And they can be like, oh, this is what I'm learning. And it's not going to conflict each other, right? It's not, well, no, I read that you're supposed to do it this way, or right? Because I'm not learning about the personalities. So that's really cool when she talks to us. And I'm like, that is so cool. Yeah. Right? It's like you're doing this mission thing. And it's like, yeah. Same with me with Jim. Like, it's cool. It
is cool.
No, there's no competing.
There's no competing. It's just supporting, and we each run our business the way that we feel fit to run our business and the way we're graced to run our business, right? And that's how it goes, and there's no right or wrong way, and I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is. Well, my dear, we've been chatting now for half an hour.
Really, that like flew by.
Hey?
That flew by.
It did. It went really fast. And I didn't even have a coffee today.
I know. I did. I finished mine before because I got coffee when we went to get the fingerprints done.
Oh. So I think I'm going to get Dad to get me to Tim Hortons, and then I'm going to paint today again.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I know.
I've got to mail off our application forms for the adoption because they're all finished now.
Yay.
And do my gym roam and finish my office so that I can start the nursery.
Yay.
So
I'm going to be a grandma, everybody. Pretty soon. I know it.
1 year. I say in 1 year, minimum 1 year, or maximum 1 year. We're going to have to
think. Yay. Okay.
All right. We will talk later.
Okay. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.